Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to a very special episode of Easy Buckets. How are you guys doing today? Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. In today's video, I got something that I guarantee you guys are going to love, especially if you're a big Lakers fan. We're going to be talking about the Lakers' official roster and talking about some targets that I believe they should be signing to complete their 15-man squad. All the best free agents are not available, and that's why I do believe digging deep into free agency is going to be very important. Targeting players for the veterans minimum contract and playing better than that value, that's going to be something Rob Pelinka has to do at an efficient and high level. So if you're a big Lakers fan and want to know the best targets they have to target now, you're going to love this video. Let's get into it. As I'm making this video, the Lakers currently have 12 players on their official roster, 2 two-way contract players, and 2 Exhibit 10 contract players, which means they have 3 more roster spots to fill. From what we know so far, Rob Pelinka is trying to be very smart with his final moves, whether it's targeting players in open free agency, or targeting buyout players, or being more patient. Rob Pelinka is not rushing to make his final decision. During this offseason, in day 1 of free agency, the Lakers were very quick to react and sign the best available players. The Lakers right away brought in Carmelo Anthony. I believe that was a big time move, especially on the veterans minimum. Carmelo Anthony could be a great scoring spark plug off the bench. The Lakers also brought back Dwight Howard, who was a part of their championship roster 2 years ago. I believe that's going to be a big factor, especially after losing Montrezl Harrell in that Russell Westbrook trade, and also losing Andre Drummond due to free agency. And also signed great veteran players like Trevor Ariza, Kent Bazemore, and Wayne Ellington to simply be great role players. One thing's for sure though, with the Lakers going all the way for the NBA championship this season, I do believe executing the perfect final roster signings is going to be super duper important. And with NBA training camp coming up very soon, I do believe we're going to see a final 15 with at least some of these players that I'm listing today. For this video, I'm going to be talking about 5 free agents that I believe will be great targets for the Lakers for them to fill out their final 3 roster spots. I do believe each of these players could bring something to the table that could be very valuable to a championship run. The first player on this list is talking about Avery Bradley, former Laker and a big part of why the Lakers were one of the best teams 2 years ago in their championship year. As we speak, Avery Bradley is a UFA, an unrestricted free agent, and after playing for the Houston Rockets last year, he's not going to re-sign there as the Rockets are simply a rebuilding team. With Avery Bradley being 30 years old, he's still in his prime, and I still believe he could bring a lot to the table, especially for what he's known for. Avery is known to be one of the best on-ball defenders in the NBA, one of the best perimeter defenders, and what's very special about Avery is his playing style. He's a pesky defender, and more importantly, he's not afraid to guard anybody on the floor. I do believe a big part of why he's not signed right now was because last year, he missed a lot of the season due to many injuries. He had a knee injury, a calf strain, and even got hit with COVID-19. And in the 10 games he played with Miami last year and the 17 with the Houston Rockets, he averaged about 6.4 points, 1.7 assists, shooting about 33% behind the three-point line. Avery Bradley is not known in the NBA to be one of the better 3 and D players, but with the Lakers having players like that like Trevor Ariza and Kent Bazemore, I do believe Avery Bradley could simply come in as an off-the-bench defender and on some nights even start at their starting shooting guard position. As long as he can knock down some 3-point shots, Avery could be a great fit. In the 2020 season, Avery Bradley started in 44 games out of 49 games for the Lakers and was a big reason why the Lakers were the first seed in the West. I do believe with him fitting in Frank Vogel's playbook and him having chemistry with LeBron James and Anthony Davis, this reunion makes a lot of sense, as for one, he's going to be cheap and not as expensive as before, and 2, I do believe Avery Bradley wants another chance to simply be a big factor for another championship run, as he actually did not play in the NBA bubble at all. Avery Bradley right now is a very popular target for the Lakers when it comes to a veteran experienced lockdown defender, and I do believe the Lakers should go all the way on bringing him back. The next free agent on this list is talking about Paul Millsap, and I believe Millsap will be a great 3rd big man off the bench to kind of be a versatile big, someone that can play the 3, the 4, and the 5, especially at a low end value. If the Lakers somehow get Paul Millsap to a veterans minimum deal, I do believe he's still overqualified even though he's 36 years old. Playing for the Denver Nuggets over the past 4 seasons, Millsap was still a contributor when it comes to an all-around aspect. He averaged about 10 points per game, 4 rebounds, but also brought to the table 1 steal and 1 block per game. And I do believe with him not needing 20 plus minutes, the minutes he gets, Millsap is a big focal point. Paul Millsap is known to be a great playmaker, a decent 3-point shooter, but more importantly, a defensive big. Simply imagine Draymond Green but an older version. Paul Millsap over the past few seasons have been very expensive, but now with his value being a veteran's minimum, the Lakers getting him to be the 3rd center behind Marc Gasol or Dwight Howard, or even the 2nd center behind Dwight Howard would simply be a great option, as the Lakers will get another veteran experienced player and a good locker room presence. I'm surprised that right now Paul Millsap is not on an NBA squad. I do believe soon he will be picked up, and the Lakers should try to get him. The next player on this list is talking about Harry Giles, and if the Lakers want a youth center, not a veteran center like Millsap, they want someone young, Giles is a great target. With Giles only being 24 years old, playing the last few years with the Sacramento Kings and the Portland Trail Blazers, the NBA world has not really seen what Harry Giles could do and how simply amazing he could be. With his size of 6'11", his athletic body and mobile ability, I do believe he has a lot of potential in the NBA, and learning from Dwight Howard and Anthony Davis could be a big part of Harry Giles' development. He has a pretty decent 3-point shot, a pretty good mid-range shot, and if you watch him play, he shows that he has a pro touch around the basket. He's a good finisher. I do believe a big part of Harry Giles is gaining more confidence and being more aggressive down in the paint, and that's why I do believe playing with the Lakers, a very physical offensive and defensive team, Harry Giles will simply be a great fit off the bench to simply learn from the vets. With the Lakers roster right now having a lot of NBA experienced players, veteran players that want minutes, signing Harry Giles, somebody that understands his role, might not get a lot of minutes a night, will be simply great for the locker room presence, the pride and the ego on the squad, and more importantly, just come in, play in the Brights of LA, improve, and then show the NBA world what you're really made of. With Harry Giles being tall, having a long wingspan, I do believe he could develop as a rim protector, as the Lakers are a strong defensive team. It's all development for the Lakers if they simply want a young player to be their future. The next player on this list is talking about Lance Stephenson. Lance to make you dance, and he will be a fan favorite return to the Lakers, as right now, he's a very popular option of somebody trying to return to the NBA. A few days ago, we just got news that Lance Stephenson had a private workout with multiple teams, and I do believe the Lakers should be one of the teams that are considering bringing him back. After playing for China over the past 2 seasons, Lance was a monster in the China League, one of the best scorers, and I do believe coming back to the NBA as a role player could be a great shift from all-star to knowing your role but being a star for a championship squad. We all know he was a part of the Lakers 3 years ago, and Laker fans simply loved him. His antics, his high energy, his playmaking and ball handling, and I do believe him being a factor off the bench to kind of be an energy spark plug, but also score at will, especially on ball handling situations when Russell Westbrook and LeBron James are resting. Lance would be a great return, and a reunion would be so awesome to experience. Laker fans, I know you love Lance Stephenson. What do you guys think about him coming in, being a 3rd string small forward shooting guard that simply could be a star in his role as an end of the bench target? And the last free agent on this list is talking about Isaiah Thomas. We all want to see an Isaiah Thomas return to the NBA. After scoring 81 points in a Pro-Am game, Isaiah Thomas came up with a video of him crying and saying the NBA gave up on him. After being one of the best point guards in the NBA a few years ago in 2017, Isaiah Thomas got hit with multiple injuries that made him not get signed to multiple NBA teams. But recently, we just got some news that the Lakers could potentially be targeting Isaiah Thomas. The Lakers right now already have 2 point guards of Russell Westbrook and Kendrick Nunn, but signing IT to a veteran's minimum, him being the 3rd point guard off the bench could simply be crazy. Isaiah Thomas has the potential to score 30 points per game. When he was on the Boston Celtics, he did that and was also an all-star. So far this season, the Lakers have been very vocal on saying they want to bring veteran experienced players. And with IT having the NBA experience and that chip on his shoulder, I do believe if they sign him to a veteran's minimum, when he gets playing time, he's going to play way better than we expect. Isaiah Thomas to the Lakers. What do you guys think about that? So yes guys, this wraps up my video today, talking about the Los Angeles Lakers and 5 free agents I believe they should sign with their final roster spots. What's most important to me is I want to know your thoughts. Which of these free agents is your favorite target, and which do you believe is a priority? Put your thoughts down in the comments below. But other than that, take it easy, God bless. I'll see you all next time on Easy Buckets. Woo!